if you have one of these types of slide outs, I highly recommend you spend the $20 in parts and go get you a ski. You ever wonder how sometimes things just can't seem to work out and you don't know why, but you're grateful for it? The other day, I pulled my truck straight in. I normally back it in, but just the other day, I pulled it straight in, and when I did, I noticed this nest under my neighbor's slide out. So I went and got some wasp spray, killed them, and figured, well, if he's got, you know, yellow jackets, I probably got yellow jackets as well. And started looking at the RV. First place I went to under here, started looking for, you know, yellow jackets, and didn't see anything that I was looking for, but noticed the bottom was sagging a little bit. And when I felt it, it was soft. So I got on the roof and looked around up there and didn't see anything, you know, that was unusual. Started looking at windows, you know, the window sills and everything. Everything looked like it was in good shape. I went around to the other side, and it was soft as well, just not as soft. Just in this one little area right here. Let me show you what's going on. And this is 100% failure, a design failure from the industry. And I'm going to show you why it failed and hopefully how to fix it. So we've got probably a couple inches of rain coming in this week, and I don't want this to get any wetter. But what they have done is they put the floor, this is actually the floor, the vapor barrier that's supposed to be on the wood floor. They put it below the drip line. So as water comes down, it hits the floor and wicks underneath and goes into the wood. So this has been going on for 2.5 years. Whenever it rains, water wicks into the floor. And I just flat out missed it. Flat out missed it. Now it only affects this slide out. The other slide out has a Swintex system where there's a gear on the side that's actually lower than the floor. So the water drips like it should drip, like right there. The water drips and doesn't go to the floor. It's solid as a rock, you know, on the other side. So I've got to take this belt trim off and install a drip edge behind it that is lower than the bottom of the floor. And it needs to be just barely lower than the floor, but it's got to be flexible as well, because that rides right on, when it slides in, it rides right on the floor of the RV. What a mess. Whenever you're fooling with this, you want to make sure that it's angled outward. This can't be perfectly level, or especially not tilted this way. Water will hit that and run into your RV. So make sure that that thing's tilted. That black piece right there, that trim is tilted down just slightly, so water can, you know, run out here and down. I took a quick picture and video of what I just showed you guys with the spray bottle and where the water was collecting. Went to my local RV repair shop, And I said, I can't be the only guy with this problem. What is the fix? He said, slide out ski. Here it is. This is installed on the bottom. It's about, say, 2 inches wide at the bottom, and allows that water a chance to drip off of the bottom of your floor instead of going to your floor. It is installed apparently from the inside of the RV. You just slide it under the floor. The top lip goes under this right here, and you glue it in, and that's it. So I think I need to lift up on the floor a little bit to give me a little bit of room, just a little bit of room. It's really thin to get this under there, between the floor of the RV and the floor of the slide out. The easiest way to install this ski with your slide out extended, completely remove all these screws except for the one you can't reach, which is up in there. Do that on both sides of the RV. Then retract the RV enough to where you can get to that last screw. Loosen up some of these screws if you have them, because you need to be able to get the ski behind the trim that was here and this trim. In my case, I also am going to have to trim a little bit of this ski just to get under all this, you know, carpet and the fascia and everything. It appears anyway, so it's not going to be all that's inside, so it's no big deal. The easiest way to get the ski under the RV is with the slide out pulled in some. When it's pulled in, it's very easy to lift with the pry bar. When it's fully extended, it can be done, but it's way harder. So when everything's, when you've got all the trim pieces either removed or loosened, you can dry fit your ski. You can lift the slide out to slide the ski under there, make sure everything's where it needs to be. Put your trim pieces back on, retighten your screws that you loosened up. Use the appropriate adhesive, whether it be the putty tape, which is what I'm going to use, or, you know, and then put your trim piece back on, then silicone over the top of that edge. In the case of the way this particular unit is designed, the ski is nearly exactly the depth of, you know, the wood that's hanging down there. So the thing that's going to be holding it in place isn't going to be screws behind this trim piece, but if you look at the bottom of this trim piece, it has a little L on it. The L is actually going to pinch up against that. So I'm going to lay a thin bead, I'm going to clean this up and lay a thin bead of silicone on there before I reinstall the trim piece, and hopefully that's going to take care of that. Here's the results after the ski has been installed, trimmed and installed under the molding. I just gotta do some sealing real quick because I got rain coming in 30 minutes, so it's not gonna look a whole lot different. I'll have some adhesive RTV or silicone on top of that black trim piece, and just to temporarily hold things in place, I may put some tape on the bottom side just to hold it to the floor. That's it. Appreciate y'all watching. If you have one of these types of slide outs, I highly recommend you spend the $20 in parts and go get you a ski. If I find it online, I'll leave a link to it where you can purchase it in the description below. Thank you for watching. Now that it's raining outside, I'm going to take you under the slide out to see just what happens under your slide out when it's raining. Here we go. Flashlight. Okay. There's the newly installed ski. The water is beating up on the edge. And not touching the floor. So it's working just like it's supposed to.